talking about the Fightins here. The Fightins.
Swing and a drive, left field. It's gone. It is gone. It is Bedlam at the bank.
The Philadelphia Phillies are 2008 World Champions of Baseball.
Podcast right here. You already know. Go fucking subscribe. Go follow.
You are now listening to the 302 Birds Phillies postgame show with Eric, Brendan, Dalt, and Ballpark Tommy. Proudly powered by TickPick. Check out the link in the bio for $10 off your first order today. Let's take it to the show.
What a great win. What a great way to end a Saturday. What a great way to just completely put BTA to the Nationals, the little brother of the NL East. What's up, everybody? Eric and Brendan here at the Phillies post-game show. But Brendan, man, what a win. Got a little sketchy there in the end. Bullpen kind of worried me, but what you think, man?
It reminds you of the Ryan Madsen, the Tom Gordon era with Flash Gordon and the Heartbreak Kids and Brad Lidge and the whole nine of you're up 11-3. Only team in the world that can make that stressful every single time. But great win. Great win all around, though.
Great win. Great debut for Luzardo. That's going to lead us into our first topic, but just looked absolutely amazing in his debut. Looking at his stats for the day, got to pull it up here. Luzardo went 5 innings pitched, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, let up a 2-run bomb, but after that was pretty lights out. 11 strikeouts, though. 11 strikeouts in his debut. Absolutely insane kind of start for his debut. And I think if he can clean up a few things, I mean, he was his pitch count was a little high early. Yeah. I feel like he could have maybe gone a little bit farther in the game if he had his pitch count down.
Right.
But I mean, other than that, he looked great.
Yeah, the slider he definitely like you said, the beginning the pitch count was up. Slider definitely looked a little bit flat. I think the biggest thing with Luzardo is just letting him trust his fastball and letting him throw it. I think he's hit 98 all day, and it was just hitting corners, that low and away. Granted, the umpires weren't the most consistent people in the entire world today, but still worked in the favor. 11 strikeouts, 5 innings. He gave the shot. That was early. I'm going to chalk that up the nerves. I think this is huge. I absolutely love this trade. I love him on this team, and having him in this number 2 spot. Then you go to Nola. This is exactly what people are saying didn't happen throughout the offseason of making this team better. This proves it right here.
Yeah, I mean, we already had a really good bullpen, and this kind of adds to that. I said bullpen, but starting rotation. I feel like this adds to that. And as I was saying, in previous shows, it lets them give that lefty-righty rotation. So, Nola was in that second spot. And they could always change it down the stretch if they really want to. But I think you keep it right now. You see kind of what you have in that righty-lefty switch off. But Luzardo he looked great. And I'm just very impressed. I hope that he can keep this up. I think he'll pitch again in the Dodgers series, I want to say.
So, Nola, either the end of the Rockies or the beginning of the Dodgers series.
Right. So, I mean, I'm curious to see what he could do against the Dodgers. I think if he does pitch against the Dodgers, that would be a real test.
Yeah.
And I mean, granted, the Dodgers in general for any of our pitchers is a real test, except for Matt Strahm. Matt Strahm just absolutely deals against the Dodgers and against Ohtani. But I mean, just great outing for Luzardo. Glad that he was able to get his first win with the Phillies. He ends the game on a 3.6 ERA, and I mean, just looked great. Looked absolutely great. But I mean, he's one of the stars of our game. Just looked like he was a stud out there. But other stars of the game that I want to look at, Bryson Stott. Kind of a short home run. I really thought it wasn't going to get out, but hit a home run, tied up the game 2-2, and just changed the entire dynamic of the game. But that's really my star of the game is Bryson Stott. I know you had a couple when we were texting, so I'll kind of give it to you.
You go down the line, like we've already talked about Luzardo. I just want to throw on to him is he's only 26. You gave up, I believe Cabo was in that trade. I could be wrong. But that was a great trade, 26. Then you have Stott, another young kid. Marsh, who we talked a little bit of crap on Thursday, came out swinging today and looked great. Right before he hit that home run, I looked at my wife and said, this is his make or break year. Marsh is my player of the game today. I think he was phenomenal and came back from that 4 strikeout catastrophe on Thursday. Defense looked good on his end. Just you got to keep this up. Granted, it was against a righty where he's not as strong against the lefties, and that can be the cold one day looking like this the next type thing. But the biggest thing is just keeping this consistent and routine, which is exactly the opposite of what they were last year when they were platooning, and having him just being the center fielder. Kepler's out in left field, letting him sit, ride it, just rake. All you got to do is rake. All you got to do.
Yeah, and I mean, I see the comments here going off, but Kyle Schwarber, dude, just absolute banger of a 3-shot home run. I mean, as soon as he came up to the plate and I saw runners on, I was like, all right, if he gets something down the middle or he gets something that he can pop up, he's taking it. He's taking it.
He almost did on the leadoff, too.
What was that?
So he almost did on the leadoff, too. Granted, he got thrown out at second base, but he was, maybe 5-7 feet from getting that over the wall.
Well, he's also super slow. So, I mean, I don't know, what he was thinking there, but
that's
it is
between him and Trey. Let's just be honest. That's the biggest difference between him and Trey. He's power, Trey's speed. I don't know how this is going to work out in the long run.
So, I mean, that kind of leads us into our next topic, too, is the whole batting breakdown. But, we talked about this the other day with the whole, and we talked about this on the main show, too, with the whole switching of the leadoff man and going back and forth between Trey and Kyle. And honestly, I mean, if it works, it works. Like, granted, we're only 2 games into the season, so we don't really have a big sample size. It worked today with switching the leadoff, and Trey didn't even play today. Trey had back spasms, apparently, so he was scratched from the lineup. But, I mean, again, if it works, it works. They moved Bohm into that second hole, and he had a decent day. Going through the batting rotation, Schwarber 2 for 5. Clemens came in to pinch hit later in the game, went 0 for 1. Bohm 2 for 5. Harper 2 for 5. He accounted for 1 run. Real Muto, I'm going to talk about him in a second because he's just really irritating me. 0 for 4. Real Muto got taken out of the game for precautionary issues. He took a foul ball off of the foot. He should play tomorrow, but Marchand came in. He was walked, so he's 0 for 0 because they don't count walks as at-bats. Castellanos 0 for 2. Rojas came in to pinch hit. Rojas breakout season. He scored a run. 1 for 1. Stott just looked absolutely great today. 2 for 3. Marsh again, 3 for 5. He looked great today. And then Sosa 2 for 4. Overall, great outing, especially compared to Thursday with the 19 strikeouts, because that was absolutely fucking ridiculous. But I mean, they looked great today, overall batting. Only person I can really kind of yell at, I guess, is there's two that are really kind of irritating me. Kepler, he went 0 for 4, and I thought he was going to be a great signing. He's had a couple decent hits, but other than that, he's not doing much, and I really just don't want this to turn into a Whit Merrifield signing.
Oh God.
Whit Merrifield really just wasn't doing much. But Realmuto, man, like he is such a streaky hitter. Like when he's hot, he's hot. When he plays the Toronto Blue Jays in Canada, we all know he hates Canada, and he's hitting dingers over the wall. But like, I don't know, man. Like defensively, JT is great. He's great. Offensively, like he's so streaky, and I'm sure I'm going to regret this tomorrow. He's going to hit like 2 dingers, but like, I don't know, man. Like, you know,
yeah. I think to your point, they're not chasing, which is good, right? That was always the biggest thing through the offseason, through the last 2 years now, was they've been chasing. Even in the opening day on Thursday, going in today, correct me if I'm wrong, there really wasn't a whole lot of chasing. On Thursday, there definitely was 1 or 2 from Castellanos, but other than that, even with the sun, the shadow, not being able to see the spin, the drop rate, anything, they're really swinging at decent pitches and not taking bad ones either. I don't know what's going on with Realmuto, because at this point, I believe he's 1 for 9 with a triple, which is insane, which is an insane stat line for a catcher just in general. But like you said, the defense looks good. I understand taking him out for precautionary measures. You're already up by 11-3 at that point. Get Marchand some time in there. I think you just gotta let it roll out. I think it's just one of those things where you let it roll out, because it's hard to believe that Kepler, another guy who had such a strong spring, and everybody's talking about with, you know, a low risk, high reward type situation, and just shits the bed as soon as the season starts. I genuinely believe once we get into more of a reoccurring schedule, he learns what it's like to play at the bank. All those types of things really brings it back to what he was looking at, in spring training.
I mean, I hope so, but also like Whit Merrifield had a really good spring too, and then just like
he could have went 20 for 20, and I still would have considered it bad.
Hey, I mean, I'm really high on Max Kepler. I think it was, like you said, I mean, low risk, high reward. So we'll see. But I mean, great overall outing. And I think tomorrow might be batting wise a little bit more tricky, because it is supposed to be really sunny tomorrow. Shadows might come back into play tomorrow with National Park.
I don't. Is it normally just a 4 or 5 type thing, or does that go for the 1 o'clock games as well?
Did they? I can't remember I think they played night games there last year.
Yeah. I don't remember 1 o'clocks. Yeah,
I can't really remember them playing a 1 o'clock game at National Park last year. They might have. It doesn't cross my mind.
Yeah, because I think they played that series back in April last year, but other than that, nothing I could tell offhand.
But I mean, Shadows may or may not come into play. We'll see. If they do, I mean, expect 15 or more strikeouts. So we'll see. We'll see. But getting into our losers of the game, there's 2 major losers that I want to take a second to talk about. So I know these guys are both new. I know they both made their Phillies main season debut this year. I'm going to move the camera because I'm kind of – there we go. But, you know, Carlos Hernandez here, Joe Ross over here. I don't know, man. Like, I know we had a lead, and I know that, you know, throwing them in is low risk because we did have the lead. But I'm looking more so down the stretch where if it's a close game and Rom needs you to come in to get a save or secure the lead, it's just like I saw things that just kind of worry me today, I guess. You know, both times they needed one more out and they're letting up runs. It's like that's just you can't do that down the stretch, especially if it's a close game. Otherwise, it was hard for me to really choose a loser of the game because I feel like overall the team did very well today, other than the bullpen. I feel like the bullpen kind of collapsed. Jose Ruiz let up 2 hits, 1 earned run. His ERA is a 9. Hernandez, 1 inning pitch, 3 hits, 2 earned runs. His ERA is an 18. And then Ross, 1 inning pitched, 1 hit, 1 earned run. His ERA is a 9. So I think it's the bullpen. And we have a lot of new guys that need to get adjusted. So, kind of like how we said Thursday with
Romero.
No. I think they just all need to get adjusted. I think that's really what it is. I don't want to really talk crap on them right now because I think that's what it is.
No, yeah, 100%. Ruiz is a guy who I think we just know what he brings to the table. He's either going to get you a 10, 11 pitch inning and then get you out of it, or he's going to go just shit the bed. I told you the other day, we're talking about Joe Ross on opening day, and here we are. By the way, just want to point that one out.
I told you he was going to pitch, and you called me crazy.
I know. You said he was going to pitch. I said he was going to suck, and we were both right at the same time. But yeah, outside of the big three, you have Strom, you have Kirkring, and you have Alvarado. Other than that, there's nobody in that bullpen right now that brings that clear, certain mindset of just we're good, we're getting out of this. 3 batters, we're getting down. Offense comes back out, or it's the end of the game, whatever it may be. With that, it was exactly what everybody has talked about all offseason, that this is the weakest part of the team. The bullpen really is. And outside of those 3 guys, somebody has to step up. There's definitely a couple guys in the AA to AAA range where it could, come July, August that they get brought up and they could be the way Kirkring was back in 23. But right now, this is what we got. Tanner Banks didn't look bad today. He did go the full inning, faced 3, 2 strikeouts. So can he be somebody? Can he not? Only God knows at this point. But definitely a step in the right direction there.
Yeah, I agree. And I just my whole thing is that you got rid of Jeff Hoffman, and you brought guys in to kind of maybe fix that and kind of maybe fill in those holes with Joe Ross, with Carlos Hernandez.
You lost Estevez
too. And, he was kind of your closer, which I thought Estevez was – I thought he was decent.
Mediocre to low-grade good, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think he was terrible. I mean, he gave you some pretty decent outings at times. Yeah. But I feel like we're at that point where – I think I said this last year too, towards the middle to end of the season. You really just, at the trade deadline, you really got to get a closer. When we had Craig Kimbrell, it was, okay, Craig Kimbrell's coming in. Granted, he kind of shit the bed towards the end of his tenure here. But
he's a minor league guy now. You know that?
What was that?
He's a minor league guy now.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. He's a minor league for the Braves. So I'm sure he'll be called up when we play the Braves, and he'll just look like the greatest pitcher in the world against us. But I just when Craig Kimbrell was here and when he was good, you knew Craig Kimbrell was coming in. He was going to be that closer. He was going to get you those 3 outs. Yeah. Now it's just kind of okay, I don't know who's closing the game, and I don't know if they're going to be able to get those 3 outs. Yeah. So that's one of my bigger concerns. I'm not afraid of Matt Strom. I'm not worried about Orion Kirkring. I'm not worried about Alvarado, which I still think I'm on the Alvarado closer train. I really think he should be your overall closer. But I can see why you would use him in the 7th, 8th inning.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think we're good for right now. Are there things that can be improved? Sure. Like any baseball team, there's things that can be improved. Other than the Yankees had freaking 16 runs by the 3rd inning today.
Are we going to talk about the bats? Or are we just letting that be for right now?
About the what?
The bats. The whole we just redesign the structure of a bat after 200 years of baseball.
I saw that. I saw that they took the wood and they moved it down. Mm-hmm. So the top kind of looked like a missile almost.
It looks like a men's softball league bat.
Yeah, But like, I saw people are like freaking out over, it, and they're like, "Oh, the Yankees are cheating. The Yankees are cheating," and like,
be approved.
I mean, exactly. Like the bats have to be approved before the games. So I mean, like any team can do that if they really want to.
Let's talk about Dave Dombrowski's analytic team is just over here. Yes, middle of the pack. We don't chase. Everything's fine. And then the Yankees analytics team's like, why don't we just redesign the most staple part of this entire league's history? And then they hit, 20 runs and 9 home runs and 3 home runs and 3 pitches and almost breaks a record. So yeah, no, we're doing great over here.
I mean, like, if the bats work, I would be curious to see what we could do with them. But
we'll break them. We'll ruin it. I can guarantee that now.
Probably. We would be that team where we use the bats and then like we get so many runs that,
it's like the tush push.
It's like the tush push. There's no skill involved. I forget what their CEO came out and said today. He was like, there's no skill involved. It's a dumb play. Like, if you're not good, just say that.
Yeah.
But getting into the next topic, kind of really the last thing we're going to talk about, because I mean, we're kind of at that closing point. I mean, I don't know if you have anything else to really add.
Not much for now. I think the biggest thing of like just some things that we did talk about, like the low end of the team would be in the bullpen, not knowing the center field, not knowing, whatever else may be, if we're going to keep Walker, if Suarez is going to re-sign, all these other things. I will say, for Dombrowski's been with his team for probably going on over 5 years now. The best mid-season trade we've seen is absolutely abysmal. I think this is the year. I think for the amount of shit that he has taken through the offseason of nobody believing him not signing anybody, just stay on the forefront of what he's going to do. I just have this feeling that I'm not saying that these are the two guys that he's going to go after, but the Mason Miller, Vlad types. I think that's where his mindset is at the middle of this year, whether you offload Suarez or Walker or whoever it may be, or you get rid of, prospects. I think that's the mindset that the offseason was, of just stay steady, get through everything. Let's get to the halfway point, see where teams are, see who's already dropping out. Then that's going to put us over the top for the postseason. I think that's pretty much like the end-all be-all goal, and then you re-sign whoever it may be. But yeah, other than that, just like we said the other day, enjoy the season, stay put, just enjoy the game. That's all it is.
Right. And I'm kind of like, would I like a big trade deadline splash? Sure. Do I think it's going to happen? No.
Only us would talk about this on day 2, by the way.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely early to talk about it, but it's still, kind of good to think about.
Mm-hmm.
But getting into the last topic to kind of close out, series forecast, looking at the series coming up, we have Aaron Nola going tomorrow, right-handed pitcher for him, against Mitchell Parker, left-handed pitcher for the Nationals. So I'm sure Aaron Nola is going to give up at least 1 or 2 home runs. He does every single outing, so make sure you bring your sub rolls because he's going to serve up some meatballs to center field. So that's tomorrow. It's a 1:35 start. On Monday, it is the home opener for the Phillies at Citizens Bank Park. I believe Dalt, KJ, and I think Friday are going to that game.
I believe
so. Make sure you check the socials for some content from them, because I'm sure they're going to be posting content at the ballpark, interviews, live reactions, those sort of things. Maybe they should, Dalt, if you're watching this, you should do some food reviews, because they got some new food at the ballpark, and I think that would help the channel. So, Dalt, you should do some 302 food reviews at the ballpark. So, on Monday for that, it is for the Rockies, because that's who we play next. Rockies, they are pitching German Marquez, right-handed pitcher for them, against Christopher Sanchez, my hot take of the year, my personal pick for Dark Horse Cy Young. I think that, he's going to be a dark horse for Cy Young. I just think he's going to be that guy that is lights out. And he was great at home last year. If he can fix some of the on-the-road things, I think he's going to be great. Yeah. But Christopher Sanchez, left-handed pitcher for the Phillies on the home opener. So, Dalt, if you are still watching, you have a great guy that you're going to go out and watch. Also, try that s'mores quesadilla, dude. I heard that that's going to be like a big thing with the ballpark this year. It's one of their new foods. So, s'mores quesadilla sounds kind of interesting. On Wednesday, we finally get a night game, our night game, first night game of the season. 6:45 start at Citizens Bank Park. Rockies have not announced who's pitching that game, but it will be Zach Wheeler. It was supposed to be Taijuan Walker, but they just don't want him to have the night game because, I mean...
Between that and the bye day yesterday.
What'd you say?
Between that and just how much he sucks, and then you had the bye day yesterday, so why not throw Wheeler in there one more time?
Yeah, so I don't... Nobody wants to watch him pitch. But Thursday, Gavin Sweeney, if you're watching this, buddy, I'm sorry. I know you told me you were going to the game when you were on the show on Thursday. I'm sorry, but Taijuan Walker is pitching the day game in against the Rockies on Thursday. It's a 105 game. That's probably why they're having him pitch, so that way not a lot of people have to watch him pitch because it is a day game on Thursday, and people will be at work. So, so Taijuan Walker again, they haven't announced who's pitching for the Rockies, so we'll see what happens with that. Looking at standings right now, I know it's kind of early in the season, but looking at standings, the Phillies are in first. The Marlins are surprisingly, I can't speak, right behind us. The Marlins are 2-1. Mets are 1-1. Nationals are 0-2, and Braves are 0-2.
Yep.
So we have a
long time to go.
We have a long time to go. We're 0.5 games up. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. But, like, Marlins, second place? Really?
It's early. It's early.
It's early. We'll see. But other than that, I mean, I don't really have anything else. Like Joey said here, 2-0, 160 to go. So we have a long, long season to go. But hopefully the Phillies come out on top in the end. Take it one game at a time, one series at a time. And in the end, hopefully we're standing at the mountaintop.
We shall see, brother.
We'll see. But other than that, I mean, I don't have anything. You got anything?
No, I think we pretty much covered it all.
I think we covered it all. But we'll be back here tomorrow a little bit earlier than we have been the past 2 days just because it is a 1:35 game. Again, Aaron Nola against Mitchell Parker at Nationals Park. The Phillies did get a series dub with the win today. They will be going for the sweep tomorrow. So, on that note, we'll see you back here tomorrow. Everybody have a good night and have a good one.
The Fightins.
Swing and a drive, left field. It's gone! It is gone! It is Bedlam at the bank!
The Philadelphia Phillies are 2008 World Champions of Baseball.
Podcast right here. You already know. Go fucking subscribe. Go follow.